أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال الملأ الذين استكبروا من قومه لنخرجنك يا شعيب والذين آمنوا معك من قريتنا أو لتعودن في ملتنا قال أولو كنا كارهين. The ninth juz of the Qur'an consists of Surah Al Airaf verses 88 to 206 and Surah Al Anfal verses 1 to 40. Allah Almighty continues the story of the people of Shu'aib and their threats to their prophet to change his beliefs. Then, in the remaining verses of Surah Al Airaf, Allah tells us in significant depth the story of Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam and the struggle with the great enemy of Allah, named as Fir'aun. Musa alayhi salam was held by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in front of the magicians and Fir'aun. The magicians were thrown into submission because of the grand miracle of Musa alayhi salam, which they realized could have only come from Allah Almighty. Prophet Musa alayhi salam was bestowed with the Torah so he could preach to people according to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in his absence, Bani Israel created a calf made out of gold and started worshipping it. Furthermore, we are told of Musa's experiences with the children of Israel, with many important lessons for the Muslim nation and our own submission to the Prophet Muhammad's message. The Torah and Injil had evidence about the coming of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised Jannah for those who will follow the teachings of the last prophet. Bani Israel transgressed Allah's laws and they suffered the consequences. One of the examples, a group of Bani Israel in the city of Ayla, who were afflicted with divine punishment because of disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fishing on Saturdays. Allah Almighty warns the people who do not pay heed to the true message of the serious consequences. Suitably, Surah Al Airaf concludes by giving us an important message where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in verse 204, "So when the Qur'an is recited, listen to it and be silent that you may receive mercy." Then in 205, "And remember your Lord within yourself, humbly and with fear without loudness and words in the mornings and the evenings, and be not of those who are neglectful." And lastly, in verse 206, "Surely those who are with your Lord, angels, are never too proud to perform acts of worship to Him, but they glorify His praise and prostrate before Him." The Juz continues with a chapter of Al Anfal, the spoils of war, revealed shortly after the Battle of Badr in Medina. The surah commands to have a battle against the disbelievers, so that Islam reigns supreme and the disbelievers get weak in their plots against Muslims. This surah reminds the believers to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger in the distribution of the bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given. Then, the surah focuses on the Muslims' victory that would not have been attained without Allah's assistance. Therefore, the treasure the Muslims received was purely by Allah's will and should be distributed according to His orders. Then Allah Almighty informs us about the warnings, glad tidings, and replies to the objections. Lastly, Muslims are motivated to participate in jihad until no corruption is left and no religion except Islam exists. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a great friend and great helper. With this I leave you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.